Hello and welcome to my channel. This is candidate master Viktor Neustroev, and today we continue with study-like combinations. This is our 7th puzzle, so chess etude number 7, and this one is also created by famous Russian composer Alexander Zhukov. In this position, it is white to move. Actually, this puzzle or this study is my favorite. It's pretty easy, but at the same time, each move can cost a game. Here, white to move, the task is to checkmate the king or get the material advantage. Anyway, just get a winning position. What do you think? How white should play here? Maybe h3, king h4, then maybe king h2 with the idea to push the pawn forward. But after g takes on f4, white can get only a draw. The king on h4 cannot be checkmated, and black is okay here. But yes, the first move is a check, and it's not bishop h5, it's rook g3. Of course, we should understand that something like king f4 doesn't work because of rook f3. Here, white of course wins because of the pawn, two pawns on the king side and the bishop. Oh, that's why after rook g3 he goes to h4. That's the only move. How to continue? Rook g5 looks good because after queen f4 we can just play g3. However, I think g3 doesn't win the game. But in this position, queen b1 is much better because there are no questions about who wins here. It's a perpetual check, like this. If king goes to e3 in this position, queen c3. King e4, even queen e1, winning the bishop. And there is no checkmate because the queen covers the h5 square here. And black king can feel him quite safe even on h3, because on the next move he takes on h2, then he goes to g1. Let's go back. So how to play? Rook g5 doesn't work. Rook h3, king g4 doesn't work because of bishop h5. King f4, rook f3, then we take the queen, and finally something like bishop f7. So the bishop is able to stop the a pawn while the king comes closer, gets to g4, then we are forcing black to get into Zugzwang, and then we take the g5 pawn. That's why in this position, queen h3 is the only move. How to play then? What if g takes h3? Do we win this game? What do you think? Unfortunately not, because g captures on f4, and white can't promote these two pawns because this square is black while white has only light squared bishop. That's why in this position g3. But what if queen takes on g3? If so, it's fine. H takes on g3, and if here king takes, then f takes on g5, and white promotes his g pawn. But if king g4, he can still capture on g5, and in case of king g5, just bishop a4, and this pawn is not the edge pawn. That's why it's easy to promote this pawn with the help of the king and the bishop, like this. Looks like queen g3 doesn't work. What if king g4? Bishop d7, that's the idea. So we sacrifice the rook on h3 because we want to give a check with the bishop and then take the queen on the next move. How to play? If king h5, then we capture on h3, g takes f4, and in this position, g takes on f4 doesn't make sense because of a3, bishop e6, a2, distracting the bishop, and then king g4. h4. If king takes on h4, king f2, king e3. If black king takes on f4, then after h5, the king can still get to the corner. That's a draw. That's why here, instead of taking the pawn back, king f2 should be played. And after f takes on g3, h takes on g3, and we can promote the g pawn. So king h5 doesn't work. Let's try king f3. Bishop h3, of course. G takes on f4. How to play then? If, for example, in this position, we play bishop e6 to stop the pawn, then after f takes on g3, h4, king f4, the king is able to reach the h6 square. For example, how to play? If h5 immediately, then king g5. If king g2, then a3, king h3, then g2, king takes on g2, a2, bishop takes on a2, and king g4, the pawn dies. So bishop e6 doesn't work. What about g4? Looks good because this is how we create a passed pawn. What do you think? Is it a winning move? Actually not. That's a losing move because then he plays a3, and now we don't have this bishop e6 move to stop the pawn. That's why in this position we should play bishop g2. King e2. Why not king e3? We are okay with king e3. If so, we play bishop d5 immediately. If f captures on g3, it's okay. We just play king h2 and save the g pawn, and the bishop is able to stop the a pawn. He plays to e2 because in this position, if you play bishop d5, then f3, and here black wins because then he gives a check and promotes the pawn. If something like bishop c4, then king e1, and here the bishop can't control two squares simultaneously. Black can sacrifice the a pawn but then play f1 equals queen and win the game. So bishop g2, king goes to e2. How to continue? What about g takes on f4? Is it a good move? What do you think? No, it's not. a3. Bishop d5 is the obligatory move here. King e3, f5, king d4. And if now bishop moves, then king goes to e5, and the king is able to capture the f5 pawn, and then he gets to the corner. If f6 in this position, then just king d5, f7, a2, f8 equals queen, and a1 equals queen, check. That's a draw. Here, black can just trade the queens and get his king to the corner. Of course, yeah, we discussed bishop d5 doesn't work. Bishop f1 is the best move here. Check. Where the king goes. f3 or e3. If e3, then just simply bishop c4 and we get the same position. He can't promote the pawn because this king doesn't control the f1 square, and after f3 we can just simply play king f1. If he takes here, then king goes to h2 and saves the g pawn. That's why king f3. How would you play here? Does bishop c4 work? If so, then f takes on g3, and after h4, king g4, he stops the h pawn. There are no pawns for white, and that's the draw. That's why bishop c4 is a mistake. The best move here, and even the only move, is h4. If now king g4, then bishop e2 check. And if f3, we are okay with it, because we created a passed pawn on h4. Then bishop c4, the bishop stops the a pawn, while the king can capture on g3 because of h5. He can't promote the f pawn because of king f1, of course. So bishop e2, where to move? King h3 doesn't work because of h5. What about king f5? This move also doesn't work because g4 check. And then we can create protected passed pawn of this pair, while the bishop controls the a2 square and the king controls the f2 or f1 to stop the f pawn. So h4, a3. What about king g3 in this position? First, white plays bishop c4 to stop the a pawn. If king g3, h5. If a2, then bishop takes on a2, king g4, but then bishop e6. If king takes on g3, h5, we promote the h pawn. If he goes to h5, then we take here, then f5. And we get the bishop and the pawn, and this pawn is not the h pawn. So bishop c4, king g4, bishop e6, check. He can't capture on g3 because we promote the h pawn. By the way, instead of playing with the bishop, we could try this move. But, of course, king takes on f4, and after h5, king g5. It doesn't work. So, looks like bishop e6 is the only move in this position. King h5. Does g4 work here? What do you think? King h4, king f2, a2, and the bishop has to be distracted here to catch the pawn, then king g4, and again that's a draw. That's why only g takes on f4 here. If king h4, king f2, and then king goes to e3 and protects the f4 pawn. That's why a2 here. Bishop takes a2, and after king g4, how to play? In this position we play h5, because if he captures on f4, he can't stop the h pawn. But if he captures the h pawn, then we can play at least king f2, king e3. or bishop e6 and f5. This is how we win. So you see, in this position where the king is almost trapped and we have the rook and the bishop, we have to pass the game into the pawn endgame with the extra bishop, and we have to play correctly, because the wrong move can cost a draw. Thank you for your attention. Please subscribe to my channel if you like these study-like combinations. Just leave a comment and tell me if you think that we should analyze more lines or go deeper in some other variations, in case if I didn't cover everything that you wanted to see here. Thank you for your attention.